Welcome, welcome, welcome to another adventure into what the hell is going on with my goddamn screen. Welcome, fucker, piece of shit.
You look good here.
Okay. Well, I'm side to side now, and I don't know. You're pinned, I'm pinned, we're both unpinned. Anyways, welcome to Adventure into Comical Reality of Adventure into Reality today. And we have a Zoom stupid issue. And since I'm OCD compulsive when it comes to my radio shows and having my screens look just the way they are, and since I am Macless still and on this awful Windows computer, I am a bit challenged at this particular moment. But welcome to the show. This is a live call-in show. So all you guys that are waiting to raise your hand, go ahead and raise your hand. From here, we will be doing conversations, whatever you want to talk about in any way, shape, or particular form or format. I do ask that you take into consideration that everyone is a teacher, okay? And for people knowing, we are serving free-range organic wedgies throughout the show. Yep, free-range organic wedgies. It shall not restrict you in any way, shape, or form. I do this out of comedy. I am in a jestful mood. I was ill earlier this morning and slept most of the day away, and I decided to be able to do the radio show tonight, but here I am. And we have a boatload of people already with their hands up. Robert, let's just spin up that wheel of callers and see who wants to talk today about anything under the universal sun.
Okay, just a quick note. I am taking hands down for people who have called in the last month and have had a chance to talk. So
yes, it is a rule that we have there. You wait at least a month before you try to raise your hand and call in again.
So Quantum Kelly, you're first up tonight.
Quantum Kelly, are you there?
Hey, Andrew, can you hear me?
Yes, where are you calling from?
From Arkansas. Last time I got a session from you, I was in California. But so we just wanted to talk about, we came out here to Arkansas to build a holistic healing retreat. And we want to know how you see that going and how some of our other income stuff, we'd like to come around a little before that.
Well, tell me about what you're doing there.
So, I mean, the real idea is that we want to, I'll run it as a little bit of a, like a resort. I'll put some tent camping and then maybe some cabins a little farther up and maybe some nicer stuff higher up on the hill.
Yeah,
and then
RV pads on the bottom. Okay, a little bit up, there's going to be yurts. A little bit further up, a couple of small modest cabins, and a couple further up, a little more luxury.
So
However,
how are you taking care of how you taking care of sewage?
Sewage, we need to get that handled a little better, because we don't have a black water dump yet. We're currently working on getting the wells that were already here in working order, because the city won't branch off too much more of the city water, and we want natural water anyway. So it's a
Do they allow you to
project.
Yeah, do they allow you to do septic tanks?
yes, we have septic right now, but not enough for all that extra stuff.
No, each one's going to need its own septic system.
Right.
Yeah, I guess our
leach pad.
primary concern is how to get the resources and the prosperity to finish everything.
You don't have to finish everything to start making money.
Right. That's right.
Well,
You just
what
have to.
about
You just
to
have
start
to.
something and start to start something, we'll say.
You could start making money now, even with an incomplete property. Nothing stopping.
Yes,
you.
we've had some tent campers come out. We didn't have, and they were just used a bucket, honestly.
Yeah.
And then we have a place where I'm building an RV pad right now, and some people have got like a bus park there where they're converting it into one of those tiny houses on wheels.
Mm-hmm.
So we've already got some people coming, and weren't even really ready for them. They just kind of started showing up.
Mm-hmm. So, hold on one second, Robert. Can you unpin yourself? Your video is pinned there also.
I'm currently not pinned.
I can see the pinned image next to you. Yeah, there we go. Remove your pin. There you go. Ha! There we go. Now it's back to normal. Sorry, guys, I had my OCD moment there. So when it comes to making money, there's nothing stopping you from making money right now. There's nothing stopping you from organizing this, that, and whatever. There's nothing stopping you on going buying those semi-expensive outdoor camping toilets, which are self-composting, and make a really decent, almost like, do you know what bushcrafting is?
I've heard of it, but I'm not real familiar with it.
Basically, you make everything out of wood and you make it in a day. You make like a temporary shelter.
Yeah.
You could make a little bushcraft mini village. Okay.
Really?
So these are like lean-tos and half-finished cabins, semi-underground mud huts that have stoves and ovens in them. There's all sorts of unique things.
Oh yeah, we love that stuff.
When it comes to money and flow, it's acting in the now, and it's understanding what are people paying for. They can camp anywhere. What's going to make them want to come and camp where you're at?
Our magic.
Your glitter.
Your
glitter, but people don't see your glitter if you don't get out there, do they?
Right. Yeah.
So what are you going to do to get your glitter to be seen? You're gonna run around like a flare aid, spread glitter everywhere.
Right.
Or are you gonna
metaphorically, perhaps? Metaphorically,
you've got to seed glitter in the places that it's got the greatest chance of getting on a jacket and making it 95 miles away from you. Okay. What is it about glitter? It gets into absolutely everything. There have been 1,000 men who have been taken down by one fleck of glitter. Okay. One fleck.
Fairy dust goes everywhere.
Exactly. Right. You gotta target your fairy dust. You gotta go metaphorically spray some dust on something.
Yeah, that's my personal issue, is that, I need to focus my energies better because, I'm onto a new subcategory of the first category every other week, like 1 second I'm like, or like 1 week I'm on the cooking end of the homesteading thing. The next week I'm on the gardening of the homesteading thing. And I feel like, and then the next week I'm doing a bunch of readings and healing and stuff. And that gets tricky.
So much to know.
You gotta time manage yourself.
Yeah.
You got to have a 3 to 5 week time management schedule and have a system to hold yourself accountable. No matter what, if you want seven buildings on a property, you know how much damn work that is? A lot. And if you can't handle that now, don't even bother going into the business.
Yeah.
If you can't overcome the personal journey of time management, there's no reason in being business.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah, true. Very true.
Right? Let me tell you what I've learned about time management. I tell off-world entities to book a session. That's my time management. Book a session, bitches.
Right. Okay? So thing where you come up to the doctor and you say, hey, my elbow hurts. What should I do? And he's like, you set an appointment.
Book a session. Set an appointment.
Yeah.
Exactly. I'm serious. Off-world entities though. Bloop, and I'm like, nope. Book a session. I have a spiritual PA. Think.
I just want to say, Andrew, that, and for anybody that's listening there that's never gotten a session from Andrew, my fiance's had one from him. I've had one from him, or 2 from him, and we love them. And we just think he's, so giving and generous of his time. And just neat that we could get on a free call like this. I didn't even expect you to pick me at all.
Right.
Here you are.
Like I literally just walked into the room and you said you could raise your hand if you want. I raised it and they called on me. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
But we really appreciate it, and we appreciate you.
Well, thank you so much. So I want to get back into making money now. So you don't have much of a summer left.
Yeah.
Okay. So what is it that you can do that can your set a goal of I want to make net $1,000 in profit?
Yeah.
Okay?
So
how many campers would you need, and what, including shit to sell them if they don't have this or that? Or you make the campgrounds more valuable to rent instead of just, a fire ring and a bucket. You give them some wood, or, offer them, whatever it is that's going to make it valuable.
Yeah, well, luckily for us, we are, very close to a large college, the Razorbacks, Arkansas, big thing in town. And we're right next to about 4 towns, but we're just outside of town far enough that when those people want to get away from it all, we're really the perfect place to come. We're right on a scenic highway next to a scenic railway. And I mean,
Mhm.
it's just gorgeous where we're at. I mean, drop dead gorgeous. And the vibe here, people tell us that, Northwest Arkansas is kind of magical to begin with, but when they come here, they feel like it's even that much more so. And so, it's getting somebody here the first time is the trick, but if they've been here once, they always want to come back.
Well, the thing is, we need, if we really want to make a little money, more than just like, hey, you can rough it by our river. I think that's what he's saying, but we need to have
Right.
something, whether we
you
rent it as an
literally
outdoor event.
need a flyer. This is the minimal that goes into the 4 colleges that everyone will see. And what's the title of the flyer? It's not drink. You're not there to go drink because they got plenty of parties to go and drink at.
Right.
What's going to make that person
ceremony.
pull that flyer down and take it with them?
Right. Well, I mean, it's going to be the most beautiful, peaceful, relaxing, quiet place.
Oh, come on. You could think better than that. Come on. Don't use the light worker bullshit. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Dude, it's about the vibe out here, right? That's what it really comes down to.
Yeah, but if there's a vibe out here, so our place has to set apart from the other retreats.
No, it
You know what
doesn't.
I mean?
It's not a retreat yet.
Well, but the other places, you can camp.
Cart, horse. Are you the cart or are you the horse today?
Right. It feels like we're being the horse, I guess.
I feel like I'm both a lot of times.
But your cart and horse aren't hooked up to each other, are they?
Yeah, right.
Who feeds the horse? Who puts the horse into the barn at night? Who wakes him up in the morning? Who pets the horse? Who grooms the horse? Oh, who fixes the cart? Who loads up the cart? Who connects cart and horse?
Yeah. Well, we're also next to a beautiful river, which we own frontage on. And then there's also a couple of state parks real close to us. A lot of nice hiking also. Okay. And we have a lot of hiking here.
All those are great for your location. But how are people going to come to your place?
Well, what's going to bring people in here? We
signed up for this app one time as called a Hip Camper, and it seemed like people started.
The question is, that's not what the question is. So far it seems like people just love to be here. They love to be with us, but now it goes to what's going to make people want to spend money here, and I think that's something that we need to think about. One of my ideas is to do plant ceremonies.
Darling, it's more than just think about it. You need to obsess about it.
Yeah.
Because both of you have issues about making money on your spiritual back and work.
Yeah. Well, definitely.
And as long as you have issues with making money on spiritual work, don't go into spiritual work. Just burn yourself out and become the martyr. You've got to be willing to accept the business side 100%. Not 95, not 5%. You got to accept the business side, the responsibility of the business side, whenever you're going to run any type of spiritual business.
Yeah. So what we've been wanting to do is we were thinking we would focus more on the, doing some healings and more of the spiritual stuff to get us by while we're setting up the retreat. And so we've got a website we're getting started, and then we're going to start doing some marketing. We're not good at that stuff, Andrew, but we're definitely, that is a direction we want to go.
You can spend 12 hours a week watching videos on internet marketing and learn a boatload about it.
Yeah.
You can go watch the free videos that I had on the business planning, how to use your email list. You don't have an email list. You got to start one. You got to learn what digital marketing really means and how to put chum into the digital network to people physically show up at your place.
Yeah. What do you think about the social media stuff? Do you use that at all, Andrew?
I use Facebook and I use YouTube. I'm not really on Twitter other than broadcasting. Robert, do we even broadcast on Twitter anymore? Instagram, Twitch?
They got rid of Periscope, and I'm still trying to figure out if we're going into Twitter or not. They had a weird setup situation.
Okay, so we go into those.
Yeah.
My main source is Facebook, YouTube, and email. Well, email first, Facebook and YouTube second.
Okay. Well, we got a good start on those two, but
so there are plenty of free internet marketing programs. There are plenty of programs out there that can help you understand the nature of the terminology that's out there.
Yeah, well,
Robert,
I like having Josh do it just because I hate being on the computer. I hate it.
Tough luck. You got to get over that, honey.
We hired a marketing person.
Yeah, but you don't even know what your marketing is. So how do you know if you're getting good marketing?
Well, right now,
Yeah.
well, yeah, that's true. But he did a great job on our coming soon for our website. That thing pops.
It's a coming soon. Oh my
Ooh,
God.
I can only imagine what the product is going to be like.
Darling, why do you have such a hang up with technology?
Because it makes me even like really, really, really ungrounded. I'm very sensitive to the blue light, and I hate sitting still.
So the real answer is you hate sitting still.
Yeah, I guess.
Get over it. Seriously, get over it. It is a critical flaw in the beginning of a business that will sink your business.
As soon as I get blue light glasses.
Okay, change the background setting. Get over it. Literally get over it, or you will set your business up for major character flaws.
Yeah, I
Because
mean,
what does that mean? No matter what, you're dumping all of your anxiety and shit on your partner. All of what should be your responsibility on the computer's lies on him. And when he fucks up for your stuff, you blame him double.
Yeah.
You got to stop doing that.
I mean, we have different things that we're good at. You know?
No, it doesn't matter. It makes you codependent when you are that insistent that technology and you can't get along.
Right.
yeah, I know. I mean, like, I'll go on, use a computer for like half hour, an hour. I cannot sit there for hours on end. If it is an hour, then I need to like really go outside and really, touch the ground and stuff like that and stay off of it the rest of the
If
day.
an hour of the computer is disjointing you, it's not the computer, it's you.
It's me.
Now I just turned the fire up on you. Yes. I
I
turned the
don't know.
fire
I
up
felt
here.
like it was like a compatibility thing between me and the computer.
It's something
it's
you
not my
created.
thing. It's never been my thing.
No, you created as the defensive and avoidance mechanism. Okay,
I'll accept that.
You're not the first person that I've talked to that has spiritual person that has technology issues. It always comes down to the same thing. There's something about it that's in you. You absolutely can sit down. You can meditate for hours, right?
Yeah, she can.
I could meditate, for an hour or two.
Guess, but you can't sit in front of a computer. Come on. Who do you think you're talking to? Joe Blow off of the Arkansas street? No. Okay.
Andrew
You have to
Huckleberry.
learn to make technology. Now we're touching character flaw here. I don't like it. Therefore, I'm not going to put any
if I don't like it, I'm not good at it.
I'm going to dump all my responsibility onto my partner too.
Well, we collectively dump it onto the marketing guy.
Who then gives you shitty marketing because he realizes you're two idiots that don't know anything about marketing.
Right.
Doubles your price. And then doubles his price.
Could be, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we will learn if we could learn this month, then we don't have to pay him $1,800 next month. So
it might be, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you even know what you're getting for your $1,800?
Yeah, we're getting a new website and
he's gonna take care of all of our posts and stuff like that, and make the thing, and then do advertising. That's as far as
advertising that you don't even know what the definitions are. Posts that you haven't even told him what to post about. So he's going to randomly pick a car advertisement and post about Acura NSXs or monster trucks. Right? What if he does that?
No, honestly, it's us. We'll make all the content for the website. We're making content right now, getting ready for it.
I'm playing debate devil's advocate here with you.
Right.
Like,
okay, there's a reason.
He'll make it look good.
No. Your content, the content that you give him, will only be as good as the content you give him. He cannot make shit look like a giant fucking Subway sandwich.
Well, yeah, but if I have a paragraph, he could make it into a thing with like a flower and like a cool background.
Come on. That's your business term. A thing with a flower in it.
I'm not good with technology talk or anything.
Stop the pity.
Be able to post
Darling,
it on all different
I'm turning the flame up on you. Whenever it comes to you in technology, you have pity party energy.
Oh.
And I need you to look hardcore at it.
I mean, because what I'm hearing from Andrew is that the difference between the spiritual people that succeed and do good and the ones that don't are the ones that are able to embrace technology at the same time as they're being spiritual.
Yeah.
Right.
Or learn how to work with the people so that they don't they're not constantly being told what the reality is. If you don't even know the basic terminologies of business terms, how can you talk with another business professional? You
Right.
can't.
Mhm.
No matter how intuitive you are, you can't. Okay?
Yeah,
You just can't. You got to at least learn the terminology.
Yeah.
Okay?
we
and as long as you continue to avoid it, you're really pretending at the business.
I mean, we literally one day just up and left, right? Like we sold the house and moved across the country and bought this place sight unseen. Just so like if we sound like a couple of rubes in the woods, we are.
You don't sound like, listen, no, you don't sound like, no, you don't sound like rubes in the wood. You
All
sound
right,
like
good.
highly motivated people that have a
Yeah, we
great
are.
chance at success, but you don't know what first steps to take.
Yeah.
And you're already out of money.
Right.
Yeah, pretty much. But that's because we own this property in full, and
At least you own the property in full. That means you got to slow your plans down.
Yeah.
You got to slow your plans. You need to come up with a 5-year and a 10-year plan. You need to break this down, and you need to go so slow it's painful to you, darling. And if you can't handle that slow, quit.
You know what?
Seriously.
I like the sound of that because I've been getting that from my guides this week. Just slow down. You don't have to always be moving.
And this is a life lesson. This is not a 1-week lesson. This is a lifelong lesson for you to slow down.
Yeah. And I feel like I have to go back every month or 2 months and do some real healing work on myself.
You
Take
should be doing that as a part of your daily practice.
Yeah, but I mean, aside from the daily practice, extra.
Yeah, she does morning, evening, sometimes in the afternoon. I mean, she's very, very fastidious.
Then make it
spiritual
make one of those sections about healing the body, mind, and spirit, reconnecting and grounding yourself, facing some of the things that are out there, the character flaws that are out there, beginning to turn them around so the frowns are upside down.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're super excited about what we have ahead of us. We know it's going to be a long time. It could be maybe take the rest of my life. I don't know.
When he stepped onto this property, we knew that it was working this property and turning it into something. That's what would make us masters, and that would probably take 5 to 8 years, maybe 10.
But you're broke already.
Yeah.
I mean,
which means you are stressing out because you know nothing about technology, and you are now having full-on anxiety attacks privately because you can't put your energy into the technology side because you're afraid of it.
Certainly, as long as I felt if she was to put her energy into something where she felt she was being productive, she'd probably be okay with it. Right? Just anything that doesn't even have to be that.
That's not an owner of a business.
Right.
Yeah.
That's not an owner of a business attitude.
Yeah, it's true, man.
I just wanted to be the talent,
Yeah. She was.
Guess
she
what?
was hoping
I wanted to be the talent too, and I was the talent and the one that signed the paychecks until I finally got someone to run the shit in the background. It took years to get it to go that way.
Right.
It doesn't just give it to you. You got to earn it.
Yeah.
You got to earn it.
You don't just wake up one day and have the buckets with the monies and they're all full.
Nope. You still got to deposit it in the account, wait to make sure it's in there, write checks on it. Okay. All sorts of things. Okay. All right, guys, I got to let you go. I got to move on to the next caller. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Andrew. Everybody have a great day. Thanks for all the comments.
Yeah, you're welcome. All right, Robert, let's spin up the wheel of callers and see who is next.
Okie doke. Melanie White, signal to unmute.
Melanie White, are you there?
Hello. Oh my goodness.
Yes. Where are you calling from today?
Los Angeles, California.
Los Angeles, California. Welcome to the show. What do you want to talk about today?
It's so funny because I'm on here and there are those days where I'm like, I know exactly what I want to talk about. And I didn't expect to get called today, but right before the last caller finished, I was like, watch, I get called now and I have no idea what to ask. And I did. I just love listening to you and talking to you. And I guess I'd like to know what you see, where am I? I spoke to you a while back. I can't even remember. I'm horrible about time. And I was in a different place. And I feel like
What-
I've grown a lot, but I just,
What did we talk about? Usually that triggers something in me and I can remember you.
I think, well, I think the main thing, like, I didn't even go there. You were talking about that I should probably get out there and date, which I'm not going to lie to you, I haven't really tried to do.
Meaning you're full on hermit mode, denying love.
No, I don't think that that's it. I'm open to it. Like, I mean, you know, it's just, I'm not,
You're open,
I don't,
you're open to what? And what
I'm open to,
psychological, no, what spirit, what conditions are attached to it in the invisible text of what's going on?
I don't want someone who's basic, like a lot of the people, and I know that sounds horrible, and I'm not judging people, but I want to be able to have a conversation with someone about the same things that I want. So I think that,
So you
like,
want a copy of yourself?
no, but I want to be able, like, I don't expect the person to, like, because that would be boring. I get that. That would be just be boring. Like, who wants a copy of me? But I need someone who's gonna obviously like push me and maybe even dispute some of the ideas that I have, so I could be like, okay, let me rethink.
You want a sovereign being who's developed their own personal journey and growth, and that they're not a wimp or a meek inside. You don't just yell at them and they totally change who they are. They're solid in their beliefs.
Yes, and I want someone that I can learn from, and who, like, we learn from each other, we enhance each other.
They're not super into one religion or another. They're just open.
Yes.
Therefore, you need to expand your journey of what being sovereign means, so that when you are out and about and not in hermit mode, you will be able to identify a sovereign being out of taste, sight, sense, smell, and how that person walks. How they hold themselves.
I don't know that I'm in hermit mode. Like, I'm always, like, during the past, I mean, you know, during all of this going on, like, I am not at home. I'm always out at the stores. I've gone and traveled. Like, I'll go to Arizona, I'll go different places. You know,
Said your Fox News program with repetitive journeying behind it that validates to determine where you are in your life.
Wait, what?
You have a voice that uses repetitive energy that validates your decisions. And you just switched into a third person perspective voice about yourself, which is a program giving the answers, not you. It's what defends your ability to avoid. That you are hermiting, just not in the way that you would think. You're not in a cave with no one around you. You're just not letting anyone in at all.
You think? I just maybe I don't know what to do, because I think when I listen to you,
you shut yourself down a long time ago, and there are parts that have not seen the daylight of openness in a long time. Whoever it was that traumatized you, you got to let it go.
I feel like I felt like I've let a lot go, but, like, yes, I've had a lot of trauma, like, you know, between, and it's so hard to pinpoint, and I'm trying not to, like, focus on one thing, because I don't think it's important, right? It's not important to focus on the thing. It's just to release, right? I can't, like, go back into my past.
But part of that release is confronting the avoidance mechanism itself, which is taking the risk to let someone in and truly share some of your inner thoughts, not once a year, not twice a year, but on a regular basis, that truly challenges the heart to have to care about the person they're talking to. Okay?
I get that.
Very easy for you to not love back.
Ugh.
Okay.
All right. I'll accept that. And you know what the problem is, and I feel that right now, because what comes to mind is that whenever I've, like, really shared, like, some of the insane, what society would say was insane, or what most people, like, some of my thoughts, it's like they get thrown back at me. And so maybe
you're around shitty people. You're around shitty people who choose to use that against you.
Yeah, but I'm trying to, what I have been doing is learning to not worry.
Said the sovereign authoritative takeover choice voice. There's your real voice.
Yeah. Thank you. Sometimes it comes up. That's what I actually have been feeling better about it, because I am doing it and I'm learning to be okay with whatever the people may think or feel about me. And it's hard, but it's getting less hard. Like, it's easier and easier. I'm learning to not care what other people think and be okay with me and whatever I'm thinking, even if they don't. So I don't know. I really wanted to know, like, what you see, like, what is my purpose? Because I feel like I have so much that I need to do and so much that I need to heal so that I can do that. And I don't know if I'm just insane.
What do you do for a job?
Well, I'm a legal secretary, but I'm building my business in hypnotherapy. I also do Reiki. So I'm learning all these things, but I feel like I learned all these things, but I haven't mastered any of them. And then I
need the time to master them.
Because I'm
You think mastership just comes with the watching of a video? No.
I've been doing it on people, and and when I do, I think part of it isn't that I think it's me, self-doubt, like having that self-doubt and trying to get past that, and knowing that, because so many people are like, oh, I felt it. And I'm looking at them and I question them like they're just saying that to be nice. Why am I thinking that?
Because why you have a pessimist in you. You have an old Jewish pessimist woman inside you.
Okay? How'd you know? It's my
very
mother.
Critical, exactly.
It's my
very
mother,
critical.
It's my grandmother.
You know, old Jewish criticism in the background there. You'll never work. It'll never work. Quit ahead of time. Okay.
Oh my goodness, that's so funny. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. What do you sense anything? I don't know. I know you, like, sometimes you talk to people.
I sense lots of things, but what can you hear?
I hear that I still have work to do.
No, I didn't say that. I said, what can you hear? Because what do you want to hear? Because that's the things I'm not going to tell you. So tell me in your energy right now, what do you want to hear? I'm setting you up for something good.
What do I want to hear? I want to hear that I'm on the right path. I want to hear that I'm doing okay. I want to know that.
Okay, you're on the right path and you're doing okay.
All right. Well, come on.
Now what? What do you want? What do you want to hear? Now that you know you're on the right path and you're doing okay, what do you want to hear now?
I guess I just really want to know what I'm supposed to be doing. Like, that's I feel like I enjoy what I'm doing, like being able to help people, talking to people, helping them find, like, you know, their own authentic voice. And like, that's kind of what my goal is, to teach people to, like, okay, because I mean, I feel like there's so many labels, and like, I'm still, you know, kind of figuring out all of this mindfulness and spirituality and all of this, but I don't like all the rules. And I think there's so many labels, and I feel like everybody has.
I'm being hard on you. Because you don't know what you want. You don't know what you want. And until you know what you want, there's no one that can tell you what you want. And I want to say, Santo, thank you very much. Santo said something in the chat room. I got a giggle out of it.
Scared.
Yeah, no, it's just funny. But if you don't know what you want, how can I tell you what you want? That's why I don't tell people what they want.
I don't know that I want to be told what I want. I think I want guidance.
Okay, there's a big difference. Now, now I'm going to ask you, what can you hear? Because there's a lot of things I could say, you just won't hear them. You won't process them.
What can I hear?
Give me a framework. You've heard me do many of conversations. Pick some of the other things that you've heard from other callers. What do you want to hear about
the pressure of actually being on here makes my mind just go blank. Like, when I'm listening to other people, it's so much easier to be like, but just say this. What can I hear? I honestly, I'm not going to lie to you. I have no idea. I'm drawing a blank. I don't even know how to answer that question. what I would like, I love listening to you, and I guess I just wanted to talk to you and see what guidance you could give me on my journey, and that's what it is. Like, other than that, I honestly don't have an answer for what I can hear, because maybe I don't understand the question.
Okay. I'm gonna ask a hard question. Okay. What do you not want to hear?
I don't want to hear that let me think. I guess that I'm basic, that I'm not doing that this is it, that that I feel like I have such a higher calling, but like, I guess the fear that I have, if I'm honest, is that maybe I don't. And there shouldn't be anything wrong with that, right? Maybe this is just it.
For now, at the stage that you're in right now, it's not permanent. This stage isn't permanent. You're the one that's making it hesitationally long. Your own doubt and your own hesitation in who you are, and what you can do is what's making this journey all extended for you, which is making it go so slow. And you hate it when shit goes slow.
Yes. And I'm having such a hard time releasing doubt. I will say that I do see a lot of progress. It's frustrating. It's frustrating. Oh my goodness. And you're doing this on purpose, because I'm supposed to figure it out myself. I'm supposed to get here myself.
Because it's about self-illumination, and you can do it. Okay. It's a matter, are you going to stop avoiding and ask yourself, what do I want to hear about myself today? And what do I not want to hear? What am I avoiding? And what am I accepting? Start with those avenues, and understand there's a whole bunch of middle in-betweens that have access to both sides of you, that rob Peter to pay Paul of your own motivation and inspiration.
So much work. I'm exhausted thinking about it.
And that's one of the reasons you don't succeed, because you haven't allowed yourself to have the mental fortitude to endure, because you've got the pessimist grandma everywhere in your energy. That just shatters the creations you make. You need to get the grandma drunk, put her in her room, give her a couple Depends and a sits potty, and walk away. Okay, fire the grandma. Okay, you don't need her matzo ball soup no more.
Trust me, my childhood was not that. But yes, I know, did get a lot of that.
I'm using that as the metaphor here.
I know.
Okay. You got to break free of the culture. That's your karmic journey. That is your purpose this lifetime, is to break through of that karmic culture and to discover the divine being inside you. And guess what? You can't discover the divine being inside you if you don't have anyone to share it with. Okay? So you got to be willing to let someone in. Otherwise, who are you going to share it with?
Yeah.
Grandma? What is she going to tell you about all your great inner journeys? Oh, I went to Arcturus and I met the Council of 14. Big deal. I met them when I was 12. Okay? Just gaslighting you forever. Stop gaslighting yourself.
Thank you.
Fill up the tank. Enjoy life.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna soak all this in.
Okay. I highly advise you, when this goes up on YouTube, you come back and listen to it 7 or 8 or 9 times and listen to how your own voice changes.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. You might actually notice the grandma stepping in and the pessimism taking over.
Oh wow. Okay. I'm gonna do it
again. Your purpose is to get over the cultural programming, whatever it did, no matter how bad it was. You can get over it and get yourself out of that era of bad energies.
Okay.
All right, darling. Thanks a lot for calling in. I got to move on to the next
Thank
caller.
you. Bye.
All right, Robert, let's spin up the wheel of callers and see who is next.
Okay, Sarkis, I sent you a signal to unmute.
Sarkis, how you doing
Hey,
today? Long
I'm
time
doing
no
good.
talk. What's
Yeah,
going on?
that's true. Not much. Being lazy lately. But hey, it's a good thing to talk to you again.
Yeah, good to talk to you again. What do you want to talk about today?
I got your books. I got your book a few months ago.
What do you think of it?
I think it's great. You kind of putting together whatever you have been teaching so far is a really good, somebody that's not used to your work. But I think is well put together.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Bruce and I worked on it very hard.
Yeah, I can tell. I can tell is well structured, well put together. But something that really kind of poked my eyes a little bit is you talk about the Ivorian, and I'm like, if you can talk a little bit more about them, I'll definitely appreciate that.
The Ivorian?
Yes.
Why do you want to know about them?
Because you never know. They're still around.
So you're curious.
I'm just curious.
Okay. What do you know about me and curiosity learning? You've known me a long time, haven't you?
Yes.
So what really motivates you?
Okay. I will try to be a little more honest here. I think this is a very interesting time, and I believe that they might want to play a part in what's happening.
They're already playing a part in what's happening.
Exactly. So the mix will be either a very nasty soup, or it will be a very interesting soup, and maybe just being able to see where they're coming from can help a little bit navigate.
So what you're really, really, really saying here is you have your own visionary state where you think you can connect one group to another, and that if you know something about this group, you will help influence the greater choices that are going out there.
Yeah, to some degree, but more of
I know
just
you well.
making
I know
sure.
you well. I know you well. Okay. It is that. I'll tell you now. Stop. Listen, anything that you do right now, when it comes to that, is wasted energy. You'd be far better off trying to communicate on a daily basis with them and go through the hard journey of learning their language, the 1 million letter celestial alphabet. Putting the effort into that versus being a CB translator, relator, information relator. It's just the shortcut, and it doesn't ever give you the experience you're going to look for. It'll give you a curiosity experience and nothing more.
Okay. All right, I heard you.
Okay. Now there's a little bit more here. We've talked many times about off-world communication, and you have your own challenges because of you're a programmer. You have to think logically, and a lot of beings don't use logic as their form of communication. They're asymmetrical, illogical, non-time bearing beings. So how do you communicate to something that's illogical, non-time bearing?
Connect more with your heart.
Derivative communication.
Okay.
Meaning aspects from one conversation, another conversation, a conversation you haven't had yet, a conversation from a lifetime, make up a narrative for what's going on.
Okay.
Okay.
Very interesting. There's one thing that I came across recently. The current sun. I know there have been a little bit of movement around, but the current sun, what position is he taking in either in the galaxy or the universe at this point in time?
Who did you want to get? What was the name?
No, I said the current sun. Is he moving to a bigger galaxy? Is he taking more like position?
No, it's just on a different. Think of a record that has the next groove, the next groove, and the next groove, and the next groove. And a groove rewinds around a galactic central sun, and the galactic central sun revolves around a universal central sun. So as you get on the next groove, you're going further and further away from the galactic central. But there are certain intersecting planes and locations where the galactic central has its own internal expansion model that goes over grooves or empowers grooves to have a higher energy frequency.
Okay. So it's more of not necessarily bigger responsibility, but more of a new space. Am I making sense?
No,
Not really.
It's a new vibratory existence as you translate.
Okay.
Think of if you're going from 1 metric unit of light, and that's your 25 million years, the next thing we're going to be in 50 metrics of light. So that's more light, meaning less darkness can exist.
Okay. But one thing that really still kind of bugged me a little bit is the current prime creator. Where is his current brothers and sister, if I can put it that way?
In the family business.
But very far.
There's a big family business going on. Okay. And our prime creator is having a giant galactic garage sale in our solar system. And all these other prime creators are coming, oh, look at all this stuff that our cousin Joe made. Look at these humans. They did good.
Yes, but he got a couple brothers and sisters that he
married into a bad family and had a gold digger, wife for a little while. Okay. He divorced her and met a much better prime creatress.
Interesting.
And then they had the wedding, and then his side of the family and their side of the family met, and now it's one big galactic prime creator family. And one big business of producing life.
Interesting. That's quite interesting. But I'm not sure if the same part of the family. There's another part of the family that he was not able to reach.
Yes, he lost the phone numbers and email addresses of a few of them, and had to track them down the old-fashioned way.
Yeah,
galactic bounty hunters. Okay, and then found them and realized, hey, they forgot who they were.
Oh,
they went into the Maya. They went into the dream because
beautiful.
They wanted something simpler.
Beautiful. I'm happy for him.
Now he's back at his prime creator table, doing his prime creator books. Okay.
Yeah, I think he's ready for something new, though.
Oh, he's been ready for a long time. It's just his creations have to catch up.
Yeah. All right. Interesting.
Prime creator doesn't want to be a galactic hermit. Okay.
Absolutely
He wants his creations to come with him. Come on, guys. I believe in you. You can do it. Fuck, these guys are idiotic. What the hell else do I have to give them? Again, free will. Come on.
Yeah. I think he will definitely have few soldiers that will be ready to go with him, but I'm not sure he will get the most of the crew.
Well, it's like Galactic Love Boat. Okay. The cruise line has to be full for it to go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, we never know. If you pick up on anything you would like to share with me, I will be more than happy to, listen to you as usual. Or maybe just go ahead and roast me. I missed out a little bit.
Roasting Sarkis. What will we get out of sizzle? What will we get out of sizzling you? Not much. You've been roasted many times before. You felt the flames. Licked at your feet.
Well, you never know.
I think right now the most important thing for you is if you're going to communicate, go through the hard journey of communicating. Don't be an inner relay for other shit. Just do it. It's like learning a new language. You got to put the effort into it.
Okay.
All right, brother. Thanks a lot for calling in.
All right. Thank you so much. Take care.
All right, Robert. Let's spin up this wheel of callers and see who is next.
Hey, Sion Hillman, signal to unmute.
Sean, how you doing? Going once. Sean. Going twice.
Hello.
Hello. How you doing today?
Hey, I'm thankful. Thanks for selecting me.
So what did you want to talk about today?
A lot of things, but first I would maybe ask if you can give me a scan and see how I'm feeling in the body.
Where are you calling from today?
Barbados.
We've talked before.
Yes, we did twice.
You having trouble with your kids?
That's definitely one of it. And what you mentioned came true, that I will have to go to court.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So that happened, but I feel lately it's been like the only thing that's stressing me, and I find now I'm having a little bit of trouble with my pelvis. So I don't know if that's stress.
You're all bound up in your core.
In my colon?
Your core. Your core muscles are holding on to a lot of this stress, anger, and anxiety. So how has COVID affected you in your work?
It definitely made things a little bit more challenging. Not being able to properly earn, but I still managed to survive and keep a positive mental attitude. So it could have been worse, but it was kind of okay.
So monetary stability is a big issue inside these negative core energies that are inside you. Being a good father, et cetera, and all this, right? So I want you to hear me. You're a good father.
Thank you.
Now you got to start saying that to yourself every day. I've done the best that I can do, and that holding on to this excess energy is not going to do me good being a father. And that finding the new freedom, even within the COVID restrictions, you've got to find a way to innovate yourself through this.
And any suggestion on how I can go forward with that?
This is about you turning on your internal light and not turning it off. This is what I call self-litmus tests. Are you acidic, or are you neutral to your energies? Are you positive to your energies?
I would think
turning on that joy, that happiness, that unique bubbly frequency that is you. Last time I talked to your voice was very, very different. Okay. You're missing something in your light right now. You got to get it back. The little special thing that made you. It's kind of a faded flame right now.
You're right about that, because I'm actually feeling my energy is not as high as I know that it used to be.
And part of it because you can't work out the way you wanted to.
Could be.
How much is working out a big part of your life? Exercise and all that.
It definitely is a big part, and I kind of see my body as my billboard to help me to manifest clients, and it has helped me to manifest clients. But lately I've been like in a place where I actually had to invite a couple of friends to come work out with me just so that I can maintain my billboard. Okay.
Which is meaning you're suffering on a longer term process of what the career means out of you. It means you've got to change the nature of the career to maybe be able to add more potentiality to you.
I definitely would consider that. As much as I love what I do, I try to not necessarily be very attached to it, knowing that it can probably be a gateway to me moving into more what I like to see as moving into like helping heal, bring forward whatever gifts I have that is in relations to healing. So moving out of being a fitness instructor, I can definitely see that happening.
Yeah, but you can still be a fitness instructor while you're doing that other stuff. And you just can't see how you make that transition.
That's very true. And
and that comes from personal motivation and hustle energy, and you've lost that right now.
Yeah.
You got to get back. You got to find that part that you lost and be willing to consciously exercise it, literally, to being back into your reality.
Yeah, I'm definitely hoping to have some guidance. So I don't know if you can point me in any particular direction, because it's an interesting time we're in, and it's time to make moves, but I'm not making the necessary moves.
Because you don't even know what moves to make.
That's true.
Okay, if you don't know what moves to make, how can I tell you what moves to make?
I'm a sponge, so I'm willing to listen and be guided.
I know what you are, but you got to find that personal motivation. So the journey here is, it's not about what techniques I tell you. You've got more than enough techniques built inside you to deal with it, but it's literally summoning the energy every day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay? You and only you can summon that energy every day.
It is true.
No one else will do it. No one else will do it for you.
Yeah, and could that also be anything that's generational? Because like, as much as I am not doing very well, like I'm doing better than probably 80% of the family members that I know.
So there is a generational journey and karmic aspect because you're doing better than everyone else, but that's because you've done a lot of the hard work. Whereas the family members who are lazy as fuck and don't give themselves the time, effort, or energy, or personal motivation, or general mental health. Yeah. You're successful for a reason.
Pardon?
You're successful for a reason. Compared to other members of your family who are not.
Yeah. It's I try to see if I can balance not being too hard on myself, but at the end of the day, I know
it isn't about you just got to stop being hard on yourself. That's not beating yourself up. What's it doing for you? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Beating yourself up is doing absolutely nothing for you.
Okay. I have a question I want to ask you that's relating to you, because I'm into health, and I'm also very open-minded. I know sometimes we may incarnate here holding a particular body frame, but not necessarily that we're unhealthy, but sometimes holding that body frame can allow persons to look at you with more love and compassion. And I know that you're a very wise person, but to the general public, you would look as somebody that is overweight. So I would like your take on that. Like, why you choose to hold that, so that maybe I can relate this to some of my clients, to hold that particular body mass that may not represent all of the wisdom that you have. So I don't know if you can shed some light on that.
So wisdom and weight don't have anything to do with each other. That's the first thing to understand.
Yeah.
Wisdom is always there.
Yeah.
If you look at videos over the years, you see me go through a lot of weight changes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did COVID treat me well? No, I was lazy as fuck.
Okay.
I admit it. I was lazy as fuck. But do I beat myself up about it? No.
Okay.
Am I doing something about it? Yes.
Oh, okay.
So when it comes to holding a frequency, if somebody wants to change their frequency, they have to know why they're doing it. Okay. I'm secure in who I am. I've always been secure in who I am. Okay. What I'm having my personal ongoing challenges with is food.
Okay.
I overeat.
Okay.
And then I beat myself up about it, and then I stop beating myself up about it, and I take charge of my life.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I
It's
just
still
was
about
very
taking the capacity and ability to take charge of one's life.
okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I still
yeah.
do all the other things I need to do.
Understand. I just find it very interesting. So I wanted to get your take on it from a broader perspective, you know, to see if it's like maybe you choose to incarnate with this particular frame for whatever reason.
I did 100%. I chose to
Yeah.
incarnate with this frame and everything that goes within it. Yes, I did. But I can change that frame. That's why I said, you look at the videos. There's plenty of videos. Go to videos from 2 years ago.
Yeah,
Okay?
yeah. Yeah, I've watched many of your video and
the beard that comes and goes.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I
but
feel
that's telling everyone I'm human.
Yeah.
I make mistakes and I say it all the time, but I learned to also write my mistakes.
Okay.
Fix the things that I've done wrong to myself. And then not beat myself up about doing it.
Okay. Understand. So and with my daughter, I don't know if you can give me some insight on her. It's like she's getting really active, but I find like it's like you did mention it, I will have to go to court with the mom. And even today she told me, well, I'll see you in court again, because I have little to no say in what goes on in my daughter's life, what she eats, what program she's exposed to, what school she goes to, nothing except when there's time for some finances. So today I said I'm not contributing towards that, and she's like, we'll have to go to court again. So I don't know if you can guide me in any way to not have to deal with this energy.
There's no way to not deal with this energy. You have to face it up front. And if you don't put your money, you're not supporting your daughter. And that's the wrong thing to do, to go to these extreme ultimatum modes, because you're still battling the ex-wife and not dealing with the daughter that's in a divorced state.
I don't have an ex-wife, or that's my only daughter. That's my only child.
Okay, the mother of your child then.
Okay. Yeah, I usually pay everything, but she want to go buy other stuff. Though my daughter have everything, and she want to go just buy other stuff, and I don't want to do that, because it's like I have no saying. So why should I just jump and do everything that you want to do?
And you think holding the money back is going to give you any say? No, it's not.
No.
The court's going to say pay and put you in jail if you don't. Then what? What are you going to do then?
But I pay what the court said to pay. I always used to pay, and the court did not ask me to pay anything extra. Right? The court just said continue paying what you're paying. And so she wanted to go and buy other stuff because she said school is coming up and stuff. But my daughter, I recently got some clothes for my daughter, etc. That is probably like 2 months old. Right? So I just feel like
and
it's
you're familiar with the type of clothes that kids wear all the time and the ongoing changes of style and everything, as opposed to the mother that's, knows the child's clothing.
Definitely not as much as she is. And that's partly because I hardly have access to my daughter. The court said bring her every other weekend, and she don't even do that. Because normally I would have to go there all the time, but the court said that's not fair. I have family and friends that would love to meet her, and therefore she have to bring her every other weekend, and she don't do that. So I feel that's the biggest part that have my frequency a little bit off, because I don't know how to really channel that energy, and I'm somewhat of an introvert, so I don't really speak to too many people.
Well, you got to change that.
Yeah.
You got to get some of the stuff out of you. So you can't hold on to it anymore.
Mm-hmm. So you think the inner saboteur stuff that you had, you think that will work? I used to do it religiously to the point where I can recite it. So you think that can help me to release?
I do. I think it will.
Yeah. Okay. I'll definitely go back to that. Any other tips?
No, I think you gotta look at what's gonna take to restart your engine in yourself, your motivation engine.
Yeah.
Okay. That's the most important thing.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you very much.
All right, brother. Thanks a lot for calling in.
All right, Andrew. Thank you very much as well.
All right. Bert, spin up the wheel caller, see who is next.
Okay, Aminta Fall, signal to unmute.
Minta, are you there?
Hello.
Hi, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Holland.
Holland, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
So what
I've
did you want to
been-
talk about today?
Well, the thing is, Andrew, I noticed that every caller just brings up some part of some interesting thing that I wanted to ask you about. So personally, I just wanted to ask you maybe about horses because it's my passion.
Okay,
And,
what about horses?
Yeah, well, what about them?
I know quite a bit
so
about
much.
them. I know quite a bit
feel
about
so.
them.
What?
That I know quite a bit about horses.
I suppose so. Yeah, I figured that out. Well, personally, I just wanted to ask you also, how many horses do you keep nowadays?
None nowadays, no. But back in 2016, 2015, I worked with a lady that had 10 horses.
Okay.
As well as horses coming in and out of that property because it was they had actually FedEx horses to us to do work.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did too. In that time, I had to leave my herd because I had to move from Africa where I was staying at the time. I had a burnout. So yeah, I'd like to get back into more contact with them. And
What's stopping you? What's stopping you?
Well, it's space and financial means, of course.
You can find a horse farm that's next to you and you can go volunteer and be around.
I did. I have problem connecting with people, you know. So if it's like if
that's
I'm
what
working
happens when
with,
you live in the yurt in the woods for so long.
what did you say?
That's what happens when you live in a yurt in the woods for so long.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now you have to earn those skills back.
Yeah, I'm working at it. I'm working at it.
I got to put a little bit more effort into it. It was
More.
really easy to be alone. It was very easy for you to be alone. And it's
Yeah, I
even
know.
harder for you to now have friends.
Yeah, it's a bit of a problem to get out of the yurt. It's true, but okay, I'm working at it, and I'm listening to.
Are you on a phone?
No, I'm on a computer.
You got to come a little closer to your computer. Every now and then your voice fades away.
Okay, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Is this better? Okay.
Much better. Yeah, much better.
So yeah, so that was the horse problem, and the people you found, you feel that also. It's hard to connect even with my family members, my children and my sisters. It's been a struggle, and I don't know how to make them understand that I really love them, and it's
you can't make anybody understand anything. They have to understand it on their own. And the
Oh,
more
yes,
you
sir.
try to make them understanding, the less you're actually doing to helping them understand anything. So stop making them understand, helping them understand. They got to do it on their own. And if they're not ready to forgive you, then that's their journey. You still have to live on life and move on.
Okay.
You can't stop because somebody's holding up the freight train of forgiveness or love or happiness.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah, it's logical. I kind of figured it out for myself also.
Mhm.
But anyway, it's nice talking to you finally, and I'd like to thank you for all the work that you're doing, and all the people that you teach, and I'll keep on listening and connecting and hoping that I'll muster myself up enough to be able to make a difference for myself and other people.
Listen, forget about other people first. Work on yourself.
Yeah, of course. But like the motivation would be, well, sometimes
the motivation cannot be to help others. It's got to be in yourself first. Then what you discover is once you've done enough work on yourself, You can do the work, you can help the others do the work, but understand the nature of the boundary of what is doing work for them. Like this last week, I had to end a long-term friendship with someone because they insisted on sending energetic treatments to me without telling me. And I've repeatedly told this person, do not send me energetic treatments in any way, shape, or form unless I specifically say yes. Just because I said yes one time does not give you free reign to come into my energy field and do whatever you want. And I made it so very apparent that the third time that this happened, I said, now that you've done this, you have to pay the consequences. I don't want you as my friend anymore. I have repeatedly told you that you cannot do that. It's a violation of my sovereignty, and you so high level ignore it. It just reminds me that you're not a good person.
Okay.
Now, why am I saying that to you as part of a personal story and relation? Because you give too much to others.
Well, I don't know if it's too much, and if they cannot receive it, it doesn't really.
No.
It doesn't matter.
You are giving to beings who cannot receive, and are arguing with them why they cannot receive it in the energy world.
Okay, I see what you mean. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
for you have to about face and slowly work on yourself. The same effort you would give a person that doesn't want to understand, you got to give yourself.
Yeah. I'm quite well installed, and I'm not depriving myself from things I like and do.
Then stop depriving yourself.
Yeah, I'm not.
Stop depriving yourself. Okay.
Yeah, that's
Stop
right.
depriving yourself. Why are you doing it? Is there some monk program inside in you saying you can't have good things and can't go out and do fun things?
Maybe it was. Yeah, maybe there was.
Yeah.
Maybe there was. Yeah, some serious stuff, but also maybe not self-worth problems or things like that.
Which made it easy for you to not do the self-work.
Yeah, right. Okay. Well, can I ask you something about my son?
Sure.
I have one son, and he had for a couple of years, and still maybe problems also with his own personality and development. He's like 20, going on 27 now, 28, and I try to be a good mother and sustain, but I feel like I have nothing more to offer him. So contact is not regular, but I miss him. I miss him a lot.
So when you decided to get your yurt in the middle of the jungle, why did you do it? And how long ago was that?
At that time, how long ago? Oh, it's been maybe 4 years since I'm back in Holland. But before it, like I was for 26 years in West Africa.
And your son's 20, and your son's 28.
He's 28, but they live with me. They live with me. I have more children. They live with me, and we spend a lot of time together at that time. It's true that I haven't been educating them by myself, and I've been absent for lapses of time. That's right.
Okay.
So yeah, there was.
Where were you when you were absent for lapses of time?
Well, absent, just out in the field with my horses and the trees and just doing whatever I felt like doing. Irresponsible, if you wish. Yeah.
You ready to forgive yourself of that now?
Yes.
Okay. Your son has to choose to have a relationship with you. And you want to have a relationship with him, but he's not opening the door for it.
Not yet.
Well, that doesn't mean he will. It doesn't mean that he won't either.
Okay.
Until such a time, you still have to get on with your life.
That's right.
And get on with your life with the right vigor behind it. You still got to be the woman that goes out in the fields and play with the horses and does what made you happy. That made you happy then. Listen, those kids could have raised themselves, but they didn't really raise themselves, did they? You were there, but at the same time, you were doing your work.
Right.
So forgive yourself of whatever perceived slights that you have. Okay.
Yeah.
And now understand, if you're going to make a new relationship, it's not going to be based on what you didn't do in the past. It's what you're going to do in the present.
That's for sure. That's
Okay.
right. I understand. Thank you for confirming all this.
Okay. Just forgive yourself. Get out there back and find a new field for you to work in. Find
That's
a horse rescue farm that lets you do all your work on there, and just for the love of doing it again.
Yeah, I'm doing it. I recently found a white Arabian stallion that I can give some love and attention to, and he reacts really well. So yeah, I'm into it.
Good. Get out there and find another horse and another and another.
Well,
delve back into it.
Yeah, physically, I'll do whatever I can. Thank you, Andrew.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
I'll go on listening. Thanks a lot.
Right. Thanks a lot for calling in.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, Robert, let's spin up the wheel callers and see who is next.
Alrighty. Zarnaz Fulati, signal to unmute.
Hello, Andrew.
How are you doing today? Where are you calling from?
Good. Southern California. I am so excited. Yeah, we talked a year ago, and like you changed my life. We talked on this show.
What did we talk about?
I'm calling about a follow-up to that. Well, I was calling to ask you because I was having all this like crazy stuff happen in my life, and I've been healing from like an intense illness that started 4 years ago, and you finally told me I had an entity problem, and that it was my destiny to unravel it and heal from it and help other people do the same. And you said it was an ancestral entity. And I'll tell you, that day, like, you activated me, because you asked me if I accepted my destiny, and I said yes. And that night I had this like wild dream that I turned into a dragon and just started like annihilating the entities. And so, okay, so this past year has been like a whole journey going through that. And I feel like I'm like having some like Jedi training, because a lot of the night in the evenings, I'm like taking entities out. Merlin has showed up in my room, Archangel Michael, other beings. And so in March, we were able to remove the ancestral entity, but there was like all these other gnarly entities behind that. And
so
my life,
it's like a mafia. Just because you take out the head, there's several capos and lieutenants around.
Right. And so that's what we've been working on now too. So like after that happened, my light language came in, and then the attacks got like crazy. Like things were trying to kill me. Eventually we figured out they were Orions and Alpha Draconian entities. So, and then we found like there's the Freemason curses like down both sides of my ancestral lineage. So I'm almost like done clearing those. I had to like step up and like get confident enough to start removing these entities from me, because there's like hundreds on me. I mean, I've been removing them for 4 weeks, like in crazy intense battles. But here, like I have a couple of things that are still stuck in my body. So many things are healing, but my legs have a lot of fatigue, and I can feel there's like things, attachments on them. Like I can feel them like 2 inches outside of 3 or 4 inches outside of my legs sometimes. And I have this like crazy.
When's the last time you've had good sexual intercourse? Quality.
Oh, years, because I've been in this process for 4 years, and I'm just like starting to step out like into the world more. So I know that energy is going to shift, but yeah,
So
keep going.
Part of this leg energy and the attacks is because you have to deal with the sexual energy, because it's an incredible part of your future. You've got to learn to take control of it, because they've been harvesting that sexual energy off of you for decades and decades and decades. That's why the ancestral entity is there. You have a powerful fertility energy in you, meaning you and people in your lineage can give birth to powerful spirits, not just physical birth, but energetic birth. You could hold a space for entities to transit from one era of light to another era of light. It's direct manifestation birth, and it doesn't have to be on the physical world. So that's why you've been targeted. And it's an important next step from you is taking control of that sexual energy. So it's no longer, that's why the attack stepped up, all of that stuff stepped up, because you were stepping into a sovereign power. And you got to do the next part is sovereign sexuality.
And
even
how
if
do
you
I,
don't have, even if you don't have a partner, it's relationship to
Okay.
yourself and how you can enjoy your own self time that gives self pleasure when is
Okay.
needed and doesn't have amoral visions behind it.
okay,
Okay.
okay,
Then again, it's not about you going out and having a relationship. That's going to take time, effort, and trust in yourself. But until
Right.
then, you can work on that uniquely sensual relationship with yourself.
okay,
Okay. And that's one part of the journey. Then the next part of the journey is you've been doing battle for so long. When is it time for rest and recuperation?
right. And I think that's starting next, like now.
And a protected one, meaning you're behind enemy lines. Okay, you're not behind enemy lines waiting for snipers to shoot you. Okay, you're in a safe place, and you've got to use your sovereign energy to go. I'm on R&R, and I can retire from the military and go do something else. It is still part of my destiny.
Do you know what the pulsing is in my body? It's like
It's your
constant.
sexual energy coming out of deep suppression and harvest.
Oh,
It
okay.
needs to be directed into something. And it's not just sexuality. Sexual energy goes into all sorts of creations. You've just been using the pent-up sexual energy to beat up the entities. Well, you can't use it on them. You can't, it's basically saying you got to use it for something else now. You can't keep bludgeoning the entities with this energy. You've got all this other energy you can alchemize and use. Use your sexual energies for yourself. Self-creation, self-nurturing, self-loving to the next level.
Okay.
Okay. You got to figure out how to hug yourself in such a way that you can feel it in your heart.
Thanks. This is really powerful.
What's been the hardest part for you on the journey?
Well, on a physical sense, the fatigue, but it's more like, it's been more emotional, I think, is for me stepping into who I am and being afraid of that. I think that's, I've always been quite, held myself quite small, but I have a big energy, and that's what's
you do
starting.
have a very big energy. That's why when I talked to you last, I used the word destiny. I don't think I've ever mentioned people having a destiny on my live shows before. In the 9 years of doing this, I don't think I've ever said on a live show somebody has a destiny to do something. What does that tell you?
Right. Who am I, Anthony? I'm trying, like, who? I don't know. I know there's something huge coming, and I don't know what it is. And I'm just following like the trail.
You haven't even seen the movie trailer of what's about to be. You just hear the internet whispers.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, everything in my journey has been crazy. And I'm like, it just keeps getting crazier. And it's exciting and sometimes horribly painful, like the stuff with the entities. But I'm like on the edge of my seat, like, who am I? Who is this person that's birthing or being that's birthing through me?
You are that being. You today.
Right.
You are that being, not anyone else.
Right.
Okay. And you're having a hard time accepting that.
Right.
It's okay. It took me a long time to accept what I had to do. Let me tell you, no, I don't want it. I want it. I don't want it. I want it.
Right.
I don't want it. I want it.
Right. Right.
Okay? It's a curse. It's a pleasure. It's a curse. It's a pleasure. It's a curse and pleasure.
And Anthony, sorry, I'm calling you Anthony, Andrew. At night when I'm doing when I'm half asleep, I'm able to work with all these energies and move energies and pull entities out of me and see Merlin. And in the daytime, like nothing, like it's very subtle. And I'm wondering how I integrate that aspect of me.
Practice. Also, there's something about you as before you fall asleep where you've been given the permission slip.
Right.
We're in your secret space where you're doing that work, and you've given yourself a permission slip to do it at that time. And you've got to write multiple permission slips. I can have the equal amount of energy of doing the spiritual work day or night. And write it out, print it out, make it in a really nice graphics, the actual permission slip to do it any time of the day.
Okay. And do you think for somebody like me doing something like microdosing mushrooms or something like that would be beneficial, or that would just push me?
Have you done any types of hallucinogens before?
No. I mean, I've
ever
smoked some marijuana. I mean, I
That's
do
not
take
that
my
good.
CBD. Yeah, I know. I do.
That's
I
nothing.
microdose my CBD, and that's like 3 drops is like enough for me. So I'm just
Okay, 3 drops is not microdosing.
right.
That's not
Okay.
microdosing. Okay,
Right.
so don't use the term microdosing unless you truly understand what it is, which is a super small, tiny amount for exactly the same time every day for 30, 60, or 90 days straight.
Okay.
Very, very, very small amount. Would it be beneficial for you? No, because you've not done them before. Is
Okay.
it time for you to go and look at something like mushrooms? Yes. But you got to make the bigger term choice of understanding what it is. And you got to start with a recreational experience with it and then move into strictly spiritual experience with it.
Okay.
Now, would ayahuasca be good for you right now? No. No. Would a
Okay.
DMT journey, which is different than ayahuasca, be good for you? It could go either way. You need to get medicine experiences on your own, which is, all right, I know I can get 3 grams of mushrooms from somebody, and that's enough for 3 separate experiences, because you'll take a 0.5 gram to start with, which is more than enough if you've never done it. And then 4 or 5 hours later, or 3 hours later, you can take another 0.5 gram. Now, microdosing is 0.01 grams, not a gram. Okay. That's how different it is.
Okay.
So you got to learn what types of mushrooms are out there and what they do. Never take a bigger dose than 1 gram at any particular time. And if you start reading about people doing hero doses 5 grams and 7 grams, they're morons. They're morons.
Okay.
You need to have the first basic experience of your reality has a new data set and input that is the medicine, and learn how to process it, learn how to flow with it.
Okay. Am I going to get all these crazy entities? Because that's what
Probably
happened
in the beginning, but if you
Okay.
prepare the ceremony, give yourself a recreational ceremony. I'm here to have a good time, and I'm going to do 3 days of spiritual work to protect my home, so that the 5.5 and 6 hours that I'm tripping, I know I did the work ahead of time.
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
It's like preparing the house for a boyfriend to come over. You know, you want everything perfect, including your own body.
Right.
Okay. You got to see the mushroom as, asking the boyfriend come over, not for a booty call, but for a whole weekend of enjoyment.
Okay.
That isn't just sexuality, bonding. Okay.
Thanks.
So you do Friday, you do the energetic preparations and ceremonies, and then Saturday and Sunday we do 1 dose on Saturday and 1 dose on Sunday.
Okay.
You do 1 dose during the day, and then the next one you do at night, or night first, day second. Why? Because you need to have the nature of the experience, what it does for you as the recreational, and then the second one is for a spiritual purpose. I'm here to learn what it does for me as a recreational journey. I've done all the sacred work so I can go into this recreational state and allow the medicine to speak to me, the human, and process what it is. And then the next day, I'm doing this for a sacred purpose, not to battle entities, but discover the greater vision of what I can have about myself. Okay, I've done the protective work. Now I want to know what I can do with these. Medicine. Let's look at the movie trailer.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do artwork. Okay. Don't just sit there and watch movies. To do stuff with it.
Okay.
Okay. Because you're gonna have to learn it's not all battles. Okay. You just got caught up in the battles because it was a big ancestral entity. You've done the great work. Now you got to fortify against the capos and lieutenants, the lower ones, who are nowhere near as strong as the other ones. And understand you got to start fortifying your reality with the good stuff.
Right. And that so resonates right now, Andrew, because it feels like this is coming to an end. And I'm just really excited about this fun part.
Right. It took a year of endurance and following through and claiming your ability to say no more, bitches.
Right. And you told me the endurance was going to be key. And I'm so determined. Every time I got knocked down, I just get up again.
You're like Chumbawamba. If I get knocked down and I get back up again. Exactly.
Yeah. I was like, where is this coming from? Just keep going.
Your will to say no more.
Right. And sometimes they were sending hundreds at me. It wasn't just like one. It was like,
oh God, yeah. Sometimes they send thousands at me.
Okay. You've been through this too.
I've been there. Been there, done that. I got this lousy t-shirt too.
So it's feeling like this isn't something I have to deal with the rest of my life. I mean, I feel like I'm just so much stronger. Like I see them coming now. I'm like, done. Like get out of, I just stop it.
Once the bad ones stop fucking with you, the good ones will stick around and talk a lot more.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah. Right. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Is there anything else that you think that would help me?
What are you doing for a job right now?
So I guide people on the same journey that I've been on. So that's what I'm doing. And the attacks like have made it hard for me to like really step out and like take, build my business. Like I want it to get really big. Right. And that's my next step. So I do like scans of people's physical bodies to help them kind of clean out the toxins and waste. I do energy healing. I haven't incorporated my light language yet. So there's all these pieces I have, and then all these tools I'm building, taking out these entities.
What about the business side?
Yeah, that's where I need support. So that's like one of my next steps too, is
like one of the first callers, you need to embrace the business side of it. There's a part of you that's avoiding technology, avoiding the mass amount of work the business person has to do, who's still the spiritual person.
Right. Yes. I was sitting into that yesterday.
Yeah.
And I think I need somebody to come, I need to hire somebody to help me with that will help me feel like motivated and passionate about it. Because
you cannot hire someone to motivate you. You motivate and impassion yourself because it's your business. With that kind of attitude, you should just work for someone else.
Right. Well, it was more like an embodiment person to help me with some of these sexual pieces and like embodying who I am. So I think that's
I'm talking the business side.
Oh, okay.
The marketing, the website,
I have
stuff that you put out, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. There's a mountain of work that's being avoided there.
Right. So I do some of it. I just think it can be bigger. I have a website. I have an Instagram following. I'm always sharing, but I think it can just be a lot bigger than it is. And you're right. I have been avoiding some of those pieces.
Because you haven't dumped into internet marketing, social media marketing. You don't know the programs are out there.
Yeah.
You don't know how easy it is to use that stuff. You got to start getting the experience with it.
Okay. Thanks.
So let me ask you a question. We talked a year ago, changed your life.
Yeah.
Where's your life going to go now?
It's going to be awesome. That's the feeling I have. I'm just like so ready to step out and like embrace all these parts of me that I haven't had access to.
Can I be blunt with you?
Yeah, totally.
Sexuality is going to be a big challenge for you. And if you continue to avoid it for 3 or 4 more years, it's going to solidify into something that's going to be as hard as the ancestral entities you just got rid of. So something will just take its place.
Okay.
So you got to time manage the part of the stuff that business needs to be done. On Mondays and Tuesdays, you do business. Monday, Tuesdays, Thursday, Fridays, you do business work. 4 hours a day. The
Mhm.
other 4 hours a day, you can time manage yourself to deal with the sexuality, getting in touch with yourself. Like I said, you don't need to go out and get a date right away, but you can't really let this go on anymore.
Okay.
It will just hinder you in creative process. It will continue to be the thorn in the lion's foot. He can't get out. She can't get out.
Okay.
There's a lot of healing that has to be done with that, and a lot of the journey. And then when that's done, there'll be other things that show up, but they will be much more minor comparatively. And if you
Okay.
choose to work on the minor stuff instead of the major stuff at the stage that you're at right now, you're just going to set yourself up. Okay.
Okay.
So you really got to face the facts about the living human being that you are, the way that you look, the type of men you've attracted in the past. Is it just men that you're interested? Maybe there's a part of you that wants a woman in your life and you've never admitted it.
Right.
Does that challenge you when I say that?
Yes and no. I mean, I know that's true.
Okay. So what
Yeah.
part of it challenges you?
Like the woman piece.
Yeah. Why can't a woman love you and why can't you love a woman back?
I mean, I've dated women. I think for me, it's more like I haven't really fully opened myself up to that kind of intimacy because of my childhood.
That's a lot of
Right.
truth to it, but it's still opening yourself up to the intimacy of something that had a taboo energy behind it. Even if you've dated a woman before, you haven't
Right.
loved.
Right.
You haven't loved.
Yeah.
Okay?
You're right. Yeah.
Loved and received love.
Right.
Okay? That's your essence of your journey is loved, feeling it, choosing it, accepting it when people give it to you, and giving it unconditionally, and then accepting it unconditionally, and then going through the greater journey of how you make conditionary love in yourself.
Right. That resonates.
Okay?
I heard the other day I heard love. That's the next part of my journey. One of the pieces.
Yeah, but you've got to break it down into its compartments and non-compartments.
Yeah.
How you conditionally love the world, which makes you a conditionary love being. And entering the unconditionary state is a choice. And then that choice becomes an emanation.
Right.
Okay? And then it becomes part of your daily walk.
Right. And I think the next part of my journey is like the deeper connection to self, because I finally just started doing my inner child healing, and that's starting this process for me, opening up to parts of me that I've never been open to, that weren't safe to be open to because of the childhood I had and the traumas I've had. So thanks, Andrew.
You're welcome. Good to
That's
talk
really-
to you again.
Yeah, that's so powerful. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hopefully
Have
I
a
can
good
call
day.
back in a year and tell you again.
Call
What
back in a
changed.
month.
Yeah, thanks.
All right. Take it easy.
All right. Bye.
All right, Robert, what time is it? Let's bring on Montesaurus.
Monty, you can unmute yourself.
I know, but do I want to? That's the question. Hello.
Hello, Monty. How's it going today?
Yeah. It's great here in cell block F. We have I think it's till the 2nd of September, the latest lockdown, because, lockdowns work. So we've done 6 of them. So that
So it's
makes
like
sense.
the Fast and Furious movies. Lockdown of the Furious.
Yeah, but with a crappier plot line.
I don't know. That last one was awful. I actually have to say, for the worst writers in the world, global narrative, you've got challenges with the writers for F9.
So you're thinking about it. It's the 9th film. They run out of, because remember, it was just basically police undercover policeman just trying to stop a chop shop or whatever it was. But now they went to space. What's the
Yes,
next?
they went to space.
Sexuality?
Exactly. Yes, they went into fucking space. Mhm.
Would you like to hear some good news?
Yes.
That's nice. No, the comedian coming out of me. It's been posted on Facebook. Sean David Morton has been released on compassionate grounds.
Oh wow, thank you. That's nice.
And he should be in Los Angeles at midnight or 5 to midnight or whatever it is. So,
Wow, surprised they released him.
yeah, or maybe the judge said, "Oh," but the crap
Or
that he's going through.
Or is he about to pass?
Yeah,
Because I believe he already had a terminal diagnosis.
yeah, he's battling cancer as well as
stage 4. Yeah.
And so yeah, it'll be interesting to see what actually happens. But he's lost an eye, blah blah blah, and yeah, but yeah, that's all we know. That's the only two. So, and I've had a request from a person I know. Have you ever talked to it? Oh, say hello, Scoff Jobs. All right. Have you talked about a species called the Nummo? Nummo?
Nope.
No. Okay. I don't know. I'm just passing. It may be curiosity, but apparently someone's talking about the aliens are coming back and they're taking ownership. And I know you, and I'm like, yeah, sure. Management's going to allow that. So, now, is there a species called the Nummo or Nummo or whatever they're called?
I've never heard of them.
Okay. See, we don't know. We can't say they don't exist, but we can't say they do.
Simply say I've never heard of them.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean they do or no. But it also can apply some other things. That this story is finite and everything that's here already and has a name has already been named.
Yeah, that's bad. Yeah. It's Nummo, not Nomo, Numo. It's the Australian accent, I think. People don't understand the Australian accent. And I enjoyed the show. The personal story of you've removed bad energy from your friendship group, and part of him's going, "It's not bad," and the rest of him is like, "No, you're a knob." But I went through something similar. I removed myself from a certain chat room because just 99 posts and only 3 of them were worth reading, and just the energy off it.
Well, this was a personal friend, a healer friend of mine that just wouldn't understand. No, stop doing that. Did not ask you. Stop coming in my energy field. To the point where I became very clearly aware that something was energy field and using tacit consent, and I used my personal energies and I kicked the shit out of her. And the next day, I called her. I'm like, "How you feeling today?" Why did you do that? Because I told you to stop.
Yeah, it's about boundaries. Mine's more the word professional doesn't come out of my mouth that often because like I'm a professional, but it's just in the broader spectrum of like removing negative energy where it doesn't serve you anymore. I mean that's more intense, but this
person wasn't being negative; they were being dominating.
Okay, yeah.
There's a big difference. They were still being a love and lighter, but a fucking asshole at it.
Okay? Yes.
You're maybe a love and lighter, but you're an asshole.
Yeah.
I laid into her. I didn't hold anything back. And it's not like I was raging on her. I'd given her 3 consecutive warnings that please stop doing that, because I become very aware when something enters my energy field and tries to start doing work on my DNA.
Well, yeah, and that's on a basic level. It's like, if you give 3, how many warnings do you give where, you have to turn the other cheek? It's like, well, technically you've only got 4 cheeks. By the 5th time, defend yourself. It's, do no harm, but take no crap. That doesn't mean, if someone's doing harm to you,
right?
It's like, it's people are starting to call Stockholm syndrome Melbourne syndrome. Because we've been stuck in lockdown so many times. Don't fall into Melbourne syndrome. But what I found interesting is, I guess that it is slightly different from what your experience from mine, is that there was a part of me, something, I felt anger, but because I cut that energy out. And I don't know if the void was being filled, but for about, and maybe because I expected better or something. I don't know. It was fascinating, but I don't need you to do a reading. It's more of I brought up the question because a lot of people are letting the wheat from the chaff, and it's like why am I eating tomatoes? I hate tomatoes, or you know what I mean? Where a lot of people are cutting out stuff that doesn't work for them anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm wondering if you can explain the energetic roller coaster that is, because for something that I would have to do every day and then just cut it off. And then I felt a background anger. I don't know if it was outside of me or if it was disappointment or there was a hint of addiction of that energy.
How about it was addiction as well as the projection of you leaving the group? There was people projecting on you because you left the group.
Yeah.
And then you had your own feelings about leaving the group, which then made this great soup of confusion in you.
Yeah. Because so my this is what I do for those new watchers, new audience members. I try and think of a personal question that will help everyone because it's
you did a good job there. You did a good job on that. The journey of disconnecting from the negative sources is doing it out of a loving way for yourself, and to not do it out of vengeance or justice.
Oh yes, yeah, not leave a trail of destruction. So it's like, not negotiate, but a polite way. This is not working for me. It's time to move on. Like I've seen friends just go their different paths because that's just, I don't know, what soul contracts have done their course. They've done everything they're agreed to, or it's just people change frequency, and it's what did we say? It's like 18 million flavors of ice cream because there's so many of it. We're all unique, so it's not. Which is part of the global narrative. They always bring it down to that duality, that false duality, because even in real duality, there's much more options and scope.
Exactly. Much more options and scope in the realness of duality.
Yeah.
We have, and it's this duality, we still have an unlimited perception.
No, I just make that connection.
An unlimited perception in the limited duality. That just tells you how special this reality really is.
Yeah, I just made that connection about the global narrative. It was like, that's how singular it is. It's like, the problem is choice from the Matrix movies. It was like, yeah, well, their duality is like, I made a cake. Well done, Timmy. Yeah, I made a cake.
Mm-hmm. The other thing with this friend, I've been a friend for many, many years. Had we grown apart? Yes. Part of my own journeys, but it reached a point where the conversations were always only about healing me, and I'm like, no, I do that on my own, and I've done this on my own for a long time. Stop trying to step in there and do things.
Yeah.
And conversation after conversation after conversation, and then it just reached the point the last time she entered my field and went to go do what I did, I just sat up in a sovereign state, turned on my light, focused it on her, and hit her with the 10,000 baseball bats and the Gucci purse with the brick.
Yeah.
Back from 10,000 directions until you got the fuck out of my field.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I mean, one of my lessons was I would be a fixer and try and help people. The trick is people need to ask for help. You don't go around doling help out because sometimes it pushes out. Now the interesting, and of course, being pedantic, man, there's levels of that as well. When they ask for help, make sure they really are asking for help, because like, I need help, we'll do this. Oh, fuck you then. Okay, you asked for help and I'm getting in trouble. So, but yeah, I can see where it's just it's basic energetic trespassing. It's like
it's energetic breaking and entering.
Yeah.
It's not trespassing is much lower on the B&E scale. It's breaking and entering.
Yeah.
Okay. And this particular person just couldn't understand what I was saying. And I had this realization, she's been like that her whole life. And why didn't I see it before? I did.
Yeah.
I just enjoyed that person's company and allowed it to exist and exist and exist until I can't do this no more. No way. No matter how what I think of you. No more.
Should be cricket
That's-
bats.
Yeah, no more.
Yeah. Well, that as well, and it's what I'm noticing is, I think part of being a hermit is like, oh, the loss of social thing, and there's that sort of that basic human drive of being social, which is probably why I'm on the social networks, just to have that, just a taste. However, especially now after 18 months. Hello, are you waving at me? I know it's a fly.
No, I got flies and mosquitoes coming in. I got to go inside.
No, that's the Great Australian Wave. Bloody flies just fucking everywhere. The last 18 months where there's this division, and I love the spiritual lesson of honoring free will. That's going to come up in a meeting with the prime creator. Okay. Apparently Queensland from Saturday, they're going to need a proof of vaccination. And so it's interesting how everything's rolling out. But the thing is, there's ways to hide in it. Like in chat there, what's going on in Australia? I don't know. I've made a choice of ignoring it. And living my life, and I'm aware of it. There's a different, not ignoring it, but if you ignore something, it can grow bigger and fester and stuff. But if you acknowledge that it exists but don't engage with it, and I mean, it's a government thing, but holding the energetic line of being a spectator in the stands and standing up, going, "This is shit house. I'm bored, or I'm hungry. Let's go to the concession stand." But every day, the government continues to fail. People are slowly waking up just to even the corruption in the 3D, as I like to say. The latest one, which actually made world headlines, our premier, which I think in German is Das Führer, he said you have to keep a mask on if you're drinking alcohol. Have you tried to drink anything through a mask?
Yeah, it's like impossible.
Yeah. And apparently they went on to explain it, but it's like a lot of people were, that human thing. What was the meme? Being an adult is saying fuck it and doing it anyway. I think we're getting to the point where we want to, we're saying fuck it and stopping.
Say that again. I'm processing what you're saying.
Well, the joke is saying, being an adult is saying fuck it and doing it anyway. Like, fuck it, I'll go to work. All right, fuck this, fuck that. And I think we're getting to the point where fuck this and we're downing tools. And, we have to go back to the old normal. Well, fuck no. It's full of corruption and bullshit. And what they're trying to push is this new normal. It's only temporary. That's what I'm feeling like, this whole lockdown and the whole COVID thing. It's temporary. How people are pushing the New World Order, but there's this hint in the background of revolution, but it's not going to be your classic pitchforks and torches.
No, it's not going to be pitchforks and torches. It's going to be people walking away and quitting and stopping believing in it.
Yeah, quitting the old system. And strangely enough, let's just circle back to the start of the conversation. It doesn't work for us anymore. Like, it's remember, I saw this somewhere on the internet. Remember, tradition is just peer pressure from dead people.
That's right, peer pressure from dead people.
And so we can do so much better, as I've said it lots, is that the answers to save the planet is already out in the general sphere. And even on just get rid of the central banks and imagine what will happen. But plastics and this is before even just the spiritual side of things, just politics, economics, and environmentalism. It's already out there. As you've pointed out a lot, there really isn't anything left for the conspiracy theorists to share, because most of them come true. There's nothing really new unless we make one up.
Exactly. Now, we've talked about making conspiracies up on a couple different shows. What's going to be the next conspiracy? Something new will come out eventually, but until that time that something new comes out, figure out something new for yourself. Stop paying attention to the system. Get away from the addictions of the doomers and gloomers and find that brightness in your life. For everyone that's out there, unfortunately,
and also,
baby raping lizard wizards is a real thing for a lot of people.
Yeah. Now there are 4 of them. They suck. They're in a basement in Hull, but they're not controlling all of your reality. Well, they kind of are, because you're giving energy to the thought form, and it's me, isn't it? Where you are, because you're projecting the wizard, the baby raping lizard wizards of controlling everything that goes wrong, even though they're nowhere near. You know what I mean? It's a false thing. I've just had a Joe Biden moment. Get to the point. Yeah.
So somebody in the chat room was asking, Andrew, you got me thinking about how I consider your offerings through shows like this or using your revocations. Have I inadvertently crossed your boundaries? No. If you're using the techniques to advance yourself, no. But if you're actively using me as the medium to make yourself understanding, that's not me. That's you creating a version of me. It is that violating sovereign. It can be if you start giving responsibilities to that. You have to own your own responsibilities. And oftentimes the teacher role versus just a regular human in your life role. Okay.
Yeah, because when we have to tear, it's a new, get rid of the old world, tear down the system. It doesn't mean the planet blows up and then all the dust forms around the sun again and creates a new planet. That's a bit extreme. One way of explaining it, which I know you've agreed to, is if the systems and the reality that they put forward if you take the corruption out of everything, this planet would be working quite well and everyone would be quite happy because of the systems that are there. It's the background corruption that's, destroying, and it's the rot. But the Declaration of Independence, the Constitution, I mean, it's not 100% perfect, but it works quite well if you get rid of these, reptiles. And I don't mean actual draconian, just human fucktards.
You still have to learn to do it while they're there, though.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm just helping people out, because it's like, we have to destroy everything.
I get what you're saying, but unfortunately, a lot of people get stuck in the woe is me. There's baby laping wizards out there. There's this, there's that. I can't start until something else validates a start, or they're going to move really slow until such a time they validate to move fast.
Well, yeah, that comes down to, instead of collectively, collectively we'll move forward because everyone individually did the work.
Right. Individually did their work, which allowed a collective to come into existence.
Yeah. And so we're told the opposite, whereas you do collective and everyone comes with you. It's like, no, you do your own way. You become your own God and do it that way. And it's just a mindset, basically, of, well, I'm not going to play this game anymore. I ignore the narrative. I'm going to focus on what's me. Unless, now, if you're in the Ukraine and your house is getting bombed because of the civil war, this example really doesn't work for you because there's a fucking civil war going on. But for me, here in Victoria, the only thing really different is I wear a mask, and that's so I don't get fined. But I'm not allowing everything else, like, the paranoia of hand sanitizer.
Because you have mastered that part of yourself.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of people who are stuck on the hand sanitizer, who are stuck on the information that's being doled out to them, and they can't break free of the mediocrity they're in. You have all of these choices ahead of you, and you said, hey, mask, that stops me from being fined. And you found the right form of validation that allowed you to adjust yourself in and out of the different realities that you had to go into. Because the last thing you want to do is be walking out there and get into a mask or anti-mask argument with anybody. That happened to me a couple of weeks ago. And I simply looked at this person. I go, who are you? Why are you talking to me? Do I know you? Are you an activist? Fuck off. Walked away. And I left that Karen shitting her pants. Okay?
Yeah, it's the opposite of it's a small defeat. You don't, small victories are awesome when it's good, but you don't need these small defeats of like, I'm standing up for humanity and human rights. Just fucking whatever, buy the Coke and get out.
After I told the Karen to fuck off, like an hour later, I was beating myself. I should have said, I want to talk to your manager to her.
Yeah.
This woman was just a crazy woman at the park screaming at anyone that wasn't wearing a mask. Okay?
Yeah.
And I knew she was going to target me when I walked past her 75 feet away.
Mm. Well, it's,
I just was ready. I was just ready. Not expect me to say that.
I was at a shopping center / mall because I know how to translate English to English. I mean, Australian into American. And there was a guy not wearing a mask, and I noticed it, and I just went about my day because you don't know if they have a medical exemption, and if they're defying the system. Social distance, like there's a reason that it just that's what. If you're not wearing a mask and someone comes up to you, you're not wearing a mask, it's dangerous. Get the fuck back. See, actually, Facebook's been showing me a lot of stuff from a year ago. How you get memories and stuff like that. And there's a lot of memes that just work so well where like we have to social distance and keep 6 feet apart. And then the bottom one is a human talking to a gray. Hey, 6 feet, dickless. Come on.
Exactly. 6 feet, dickless.
Yeah. So yeah, it's the learning the energies of letting you're cutting the sandbags. You're in a hot air balloon, cutting off the sandbags of what doesn't work for you anymore, and you're raising your vibration. But you still have like money. The idea of money isn't a bad thing. And technology as well. It's how it's used, and so. Going back to like the systems are changing, yeah, but I could probably go back to before European discovery of North America, where like the elders in the tribe, like they still had a Congress and blah blah blah. You know what I mean? It's most systems work except for the corruption that is allowed to go on. I don't know if you want to talk about Afghanistan, where the best way of dealing with Afghanistan is through a comedian. We'll talk about it tomorrow because there's a lot of comedy. Now, obviously,
save that for tomorrow. Exactly. Save that for tomorrow.
Yeah. Now, we're not laughing at the misfortune of all those people, but we'll save it for tomorrow because it's like, oh, yeah, here's a box of stuff. Mind you, I will say this as a positive. Joe Biden has finally brought the country together. Yeah, I'm not American.
I bite my tongue off.
Yes. Well, see, that's tomorrow. So I'm an earther. I'm not an earthling. That makes me sound like a child, like halfling.
You are pro-earth.
Yeah. Yes. I'm an earther.
You're pro-earth, pro-sovereignty, pro-free will.
Yeah. Yeah, and I know the planet likes to, a bit of a hussy, but
she likes to get out there and shake her heels.
Yeah, but that's we are.
I'd rather be with Earth Mother than some prude planet that doesn't allow you to do anything.
Yeah, I don't want to be orbiting, be one of 72 fucking satellites around Jupiter.
Right. Just be
Jupiter's bitch.
Jupiter's bitch, exactly.
Yeah, so I find it fascinating. Like there's 66 planets in the solar system. I would hate to be an astrologer when they find them all. Oh no, how many? You've got 17 planets in your 12th house. It's going to make things interesting.
So somebody in the chat room, if you're in the United States, Monty, they want to go out on a date with you.
Cool. Just pay for my plane ticket.
And your COVID shots.
Take my COVID shots, pay for the passport, and fake the vaccine passport.
Exactly, and then you'll have a date.
Yeah, it'd be fine. I'll just have to fly to Canada and bust my way through down because I'm not a fan of the TSA.
You'd be better off going to the Mexican border and crossing the Canadian.
I was going to say, man,
like Nazis right now.
Someone send me a Biden t-shirt and then I'll go to Mexico and go across the border.
There you go. Exactly.
But well, we're still we are in lockdown to
Well,
September.
you can take a cruise to the United States.
Well, yeah, they let them in. Yeah, the quarantine, they let them in.
They let them in, exactly.
Yeah. It's fascinating. Like,
probably the cruise would probably be cheaper than the flight right now.
yeah. It's fascinating the way that governments have failed. They continue to fail, and it's. I saw a friend on Facebook put up, they're not trying to kill you. Then, if they wanted to do that, blah 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 blah. They're trying to help you with the vaccine. Okay, I mean, someone has to pay for them all, and 3 generations from now we'll still be paying off the debt. But yeah, you do you. Mm-hmm. That's the other thing. I'm not challenging people. I cannot be asked throwing bricks into the Grand Canyon with some stuff.
Mm-hmm. What's 6 billion times 400? That's how much money they're earning off of the COVID jabs. $400 a shot. 6 billion doses.
Well, what's 6 for?
24 trillion. 24 trillion.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, I can see the way the marketing's really. They've got enough money for marketing, haven't they? It's rather amusing. It's like here in Australia, get vaccinated and then we'll open up. And yet, is it Israel? They're up to 85% vaccinated and they're going back into lockdown?
Because they're discovering that their particular type of vaccination has no immunities to gamma and delta.
Yeah.
And epsilon, the next versions of it.
Yeah.
And and unfortunately, the vast majority of the existing, hold on. Yeah, 2.4 trillion, or is that 20? What is that number, Robert?
2.4 trillion.
2.4 trillion. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, and they're saying now that you have to have boosters every 6 months because the immunity wanes, and it's like
because the effect, like there was just a study that came out from Britain that was peer reviewed, that basically says that the vaccination companies were saying they have a 90% success rate against the original. In fact, they have a 40% success rate. And that many of the existing vaccines, the best that they'll ever get is a 40% success rate. And if it does give you the immune system antibodies for COVID, it doesn't give it to you for the mutations, even though they're trying to say it would give it to you for the mutations.
Now, what would happen if
it just validates that the mass vaccination program was the wrong way to go.
Yeah, well, what happens if someone had the original strain of COVID and they went through it and the body got it, with the immune system knowing that the base code?
People do they still get yes, because like chickenpox, you're only supposed to get it once. People who have had COVID get it a second time, a third, and a fourth time.
Okay. Because it's not, well, it's, there is a...
Listen, you can get the vaccination and it'll mutate in your body because of the vaccination. And that's what this other study was basically saying. Vaccination forces mutation.
Oh yeah. That's what, really? Because
right.
I remember Rand Paul got decimated by the left because he said that people that have had COVID don't need to wear masks and go out. And of course, everyone became a medical professional, forgetting that Rand Paul is a doctor,
right,
who's
a doctor,
unlike
exactly.
Fauci. Unlike Fauci, actually saw patients. Fun stuff, as always.
So, if this was a real, it is real. If the government properly responded to this, it would have been a set of talking points that made much more sense from the science side instead of the bullshit that they gave us when they first rolled it out, because they were too worried about the economy and they thought that everyone could get through it in 6 months or 10 months and then they would put trillions into the economy. But they knew from early on. And, the long-term damage of what's being done to the economy control, that's all part of the greater system of what they needed to do to make themselves feel good.
Well, that's what, if the whole COVID situation, imagine if it was dealt from a health perspective, not a political perspective.
Not a political, exactly. If it was done from a full health perspective and not a political, and the politicals would have not gone against the health perspectives.
Yeah. Now let's add the woo woo just to because I mean your audience will go, yeah, cool. Yeah. But if those people go for everyone watching, you go and talk to other people, yeah, they can sort of and ah about what you're talking about. Just bring in the woo woo and just blow their minds, or you'll lose friends. Either way, you're a winner. Because it's a time traveling karma based resolution. And is the vaccines like a bit of instant karma?
It can be, but the thing is, as I've said many times, the biggest thing about vaccinations that is doing damage is the fear that they've created, and the tribalism and the destructiveness of jab versus no jab, and separating people based off of that. It's far more destructive than what the actual vaccination does negatively to people, which I've said many times before.
Yeah, it's not the medical side; it's everything else. Because I've pondered what the level of the placebo universe theory, where what you put out comes back at you on a very simple way. Now, it doesn't work 100% all the time, because I would blow up Belgium, because every time I make this example, Belgium would blow up. However, after 18 months of fear and projection from the media as well as the government, and I'm wondering, I don't need you to give me a percentage. It's an example. I'm wondering how many people in the old age homes actually decided to transition, or they allowed that thought of it's a deadly disease, I'm going to die, and they created their death.
Exactly.
Yeah, because that doesn't help.
No, it doesn't. But that's what they want to do. They want to get you into these stupid sets of choices. Okay.
Yeah, I never understood
the vax non-vax. They want you into those debate and argument points so that you only defend their subject matter.
And it's a false duality. It's vax or not vax.
Okay.
Because you can. Yeah, some have. I mean, but now they're starting. It's interesting where if people are sick or in the ICU, they're unvaccinated. Dun, dun, dun. And then, well, what about the other 14? Unfortunately, some people have had, the difference in like the marketing of it. Unvaccinated, evil, vaccinated, unfortunate.
Okay. Guess what? The rate of people who are vaccinated to unvaccinated who get deathly ill is 50-50.
Yeah.
So it ultimately doesn't truly matter if you're vaccinated or unvaccinated. If you're going to get sick, you're going to get sick. You don't, even if you have the vaccination, something is inside you that is going to make this particular virus go crazy in you.
Yeah. So is it still doing its thing about karma resolution, or is it?
Oh yeah, it's still doing its thing.
Oh yeah.
It's trying to get otherworldly investors into it too.
Oh yeah, that was the next question, because I know it's gone off planet, and I'm sure management's happy about that, because that's not good marketing for the galaxy.
No, they're not happy about that. They've screwed the pooch on the optics of that one.
Hey man, you want to buy some loosh? Is that some of that earther shit?
Exactly. Is that tainted with that virus? Are you giving me some? Yeah.
Does that come with karma? I don't think so, my friend.
Exactly. Let me check the fine print.
I'm just going to test this now. Yeah. Do you want to do a quick update about the inner Earth management? Like how?
We'll save that. We'll save that for tomorrow.
All right. Oh, sorry. There you go. There's a hint. It's going to be funny.
Yes, it will be in depth. It will be funny. It will be relieving. It will be all sorts of beautiful things. So, Molly, why don't you give a way for people to get a hold of you?
I am on many things. Basically, Wafer Thin Entertainment is the place to find me on Instagram and Rumble and YouTube and Facebook and Twitter and I'm on 17 different things. I'm actually on Spotify, so I don't know how I can make money out of that yet, but we'll figure it out. My personal profile on Facebook as well as Twitter as well. But Wafer Thin Entertainment is your place to go.
And you all know who I am.
And sorry, I keep forgetting this. I did a thing and I read Stardust Ranch, written by John Edmonds and Bruce McDonald. So if you want to listen to me for 7.5 hours, the audiobook is out there. And by buying that, you're helping me. And of course, you're saving Scoffy from starving to death. So be a champ.
All right, you guys know who I am. You can go to my website, andrewbartzis.com. We have a new book that is out. If you haven't heard, you can go to amazon.com, type in my name, Andrew Bartzis, Galactic Historian. You will see the book there available to get to you via Amazon. And we will be back tomorrow for a comedy collective show of what the fuck else we're going to talk about. All right, everybody, We'll see you tomorrow.
Each different bubble of reality is true. A galactic historian is a person that looks at all the lines of dramatic karma. Nudge, nudge, it's the Holy Grail. Improvise. Mysterious. It's counter psychic intelligence.
Why is DNA farming of this star cluster so important?
Because we do manifest our reality. We do create our reality. Hello, let's create, let's co-create, and let's change this world with love. No matter if you're from Alpha Centauri or Earth, we all began with the same birthing process. We live in a limited point of view. Living the mystical life daily is about striving for the unlimited point of view. Each day, each human being gets an infinite amount of choices. Living the mystical life daily is about facing obstacles and challenges. The level of awareness that you are working at means you have a responsibility to be equal with it. How does one truly let go of expectation? You can make the moment that you wake up to the moment you go to sleep sacred. The keys to success: choice, 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 and choice.